Alright, we got another great animated trilogy on our hands. Hey guys, so I just came back from watching How to Train Your Dragon 3, and this movie tells the story of Hiccup, Toothless, and the whole gang once again. And in this movie, what began as an unlikely friendship between an adolescent Viking and a fearsome Night Fury dragon has become an epic adventure spanning their lives. And now that Hiccup is chief and ruler of Berk alongside Astrid, Hiccup has created a gloriously chaotic dragon utopia, and when the sudden appearance of a female light fury coincides with the darkest threat their village has ever faced, Hiccup and Toothless must leave the only home they've known and journey to a hidden world thought only to exist in myth. As their true destinies are revealed, Dragon and Rider will fight together to the very ends of the earth to protect everything they've grown to treasure. Now, I am a huge fan of the first two movies. The first one, to me, is a masterpiece. The second one is really amazing as well, just I like the first one slightly better. But I was so excited to see how they would conclude the trilogy, so let's get into How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, let's start off with the negatives first. I do have a couple. This is definitely my least favorite of the trilogy, even though I had a really good time watching it. But it did feel a little rushed in parts, especially transitioning into the third act and how they resolve the conflict. And I know everyone is saying this, but yes, the villain is pretty weak, but I kind of had different problems with the villain than everyone else, and it kind of had to do with the voice acting for him. The voice actor, in my opinion, didn't do their greatest job playing him, and every single line of dialogue that came out of his mouth came out kind of cringy and cheesy, but there was a couple moments that I found him to be pretty menacing, and that's why it kind of frustrated me because he had so much potential. I feel like if they had a different voice actor to be a bit more menacing with the lines of dialogue that he has to say in the movie, it would have been better, just like Drago in How to Train Your Dragon 2. But some things with the villain were also a little bit rushed as well. And this is a bit of a nitpick, but I felt that there was a couple moments in which they took things from How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2 and kind of changed them a little bit to kind of play out the same in 3, just in a couple moments. It wasn't like throughout the entire movie, but it wasn't too big of a problem for me. It was just something I noticed, kind of nitpicky. But, alright, now let's get into the greatness of this film. The animation, oh my god, I can't even emphasize in this review how fantastic the animation was in this movie. Just every single shot was just, it looked amazing. The animation has improved even further from the first two, and my eyes were glued to the screen because of the visuals alone. A lot of the characters were developed even further, especially Hiccup. There was a couple origin scenes with him as a little kid that fleshed him out even more, which I thought was great. There was also a couple hidden messages throughout the movie that I liked a lot. Once again, there are some adult jokes that will go over kids' heads in this movie that were pretty funny, as well as, you know, jokes for kids. It is for kids as well, so there's that. I do like all the stuff with Toothless and the Light Fury. They do devote a lot of the runtime to that, and some people will like that, some people won't. I did. The music is great as well, and it works really well with the super entertaining action sequences, and a lot of the action sequences, especially in the beginning, have no cuts, so that was cool. But to me, the best part about this movie was the ending. The last 10 to 15 minutes were just great. I absolutely loved it. It was a great way to end the trilogy, and it was kind of heartwarming, and I kind of wanted to tear up by the end. I didn't. I was close though. But overall, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World was a great conclusion to the trilogy that I really enjoyed. And while it isn't as good as the first two, and I had a couple issues with it, it was visually stunning. Most of the characters were great once again, other than the villain, of course, but the music and action was super entertaining, and it kind of warmed my heart. So, in the end, I will say How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is great, and I'm going to give it an A-. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. I really appreciate it if you did. And as always, my name is Stoic the Vast. Peace out. I don't know. Was that funny? That was pretty funny, right? Alright, great. Alright.